Hey everyone, thank you for being here. Okay, so we have a different vibe, we have a different energy for today or when you see this. And also there's always some blending and mishmashing of the days. So it's not just distinctly one day, it's for maybe a little bit of a time period. It's sort of like those overlapping circles, the concentric circles yeah, anyway, it overlaps. Just let me say that. It overlaps. All right. Hi, little baby. Okay. Um, so, on to the energy. When I ask spirits, because I always ask specifically, tell me what to say to the collective. And it always changes when I press start. So, but the main energy is always the same. And the mug I picked out and what I heard was, it's almost time, but for right now, just trust the process. I'm not always good at that. So if that's not your forte, or if your strength is not to just sit back and trust, it'll be okay. Well, I'm right there with you. But I am a proponent of always listening to the voice of spirit. So I guess we have to listen and then accept what is said. And what was said is trust the process. You're almost at the point where let the adventure begin, or you're almost at the point, but not quite yet. I feel like we're going to be closer to the middle of the month before that happens. Now, what is that about? It's going to be different for different people. Personally, I have no idea. So for right now, just cool your jets and trust the process. Right, little baby? All right, hang on a minute. Oh, that's so good. But this is a really cool mug, so I'm sorry, baby. I'm going to put it right there so you can see it. Now, let's get into the reading. Oh, yes. When I sat down, I saw my past life oracle deck, and I thought, oh, and I almost pulled a card ahead of time, and I thought, no, you guys need to be part of this process. So instead of pulling a card in advance, and I do feel like that this has something to do with what is happening, and I feel like specifically, because what I'm hearing is trial and tribulation, so I think that if there is any closing out of a cycle, and I didn't know I was going to say that, so there you go. If there is any closing out of a cycle, it has to do with something connected to a past life. Closing of a cycle. So if you've been seeing the number 9 a lot, if you are getting anxious, antsy, bored within your own life, and you just know you're on the cusp of doing something else or being somewhere else or something new happening, odds are good that this is for you. So isn't that right, little baby? All right, so let's see what comes out with the past life oracle, if that can give us any inclination, or not inclination, but if that can point us in any direction as to what this might be about. Because I have a feeling this will resonate with a lot of people, but this card may not, simply because, you know, we've all had so many past lives. It's kind of hard to imagine how many lives we've actually lived. I'm just going to open it in the middle. Ha, okay, didn't expect that one. Spouse. So this may have to do with a karmic relationship. And on the other side of that, unrequited love. And then on the bottom of the deck, wars and battles. So someone may have lost a spouse and unrequited love. Well, unrequited means it hasn't happened, so it wouldn't be a spouse. But maybe you ended up yet in that lifetime with a karmic, but the person that you actually I feel like someone may have never expressed a feeling of both gratitude and love for someone. Now, one thing I want you to remember, a soulmate or a soul connection, twin flame, all that, it doesn't have to be romantic. So, but for some reason, this is all revolving around karmic relationships, unrequited yet intensely loving relationships. But then again, if you weren't actually in a relationship with someone, it's easy to romanticize it and turn it into something that maybe it wouldn't have been if it had been in real terms. This is interesting, and this feels unfinished. So we're going to, and then wars and battles. Yeah. So I don't, this goes, let me think. All right. I'm getting two different time periods. Truly, just bear with me. One of them is like the Roman Empire. I have no idea. So considering they pillaged and plundered their way through Europe, okay. So, yeah. All right, thank you for coming out. So one lifetime may have been with Roman invasion. And who knows, maybe the unrequited was a Roman soldier. But I feel as though, and gender doesn't make a bit of difference, but I do feel like one was, I just heard the word occupation. Okay. So one was part of the Roman invasion. That was one of the battles and losses. And I think that's on the unrequited end. And then someone died in one of the skirmishes or battles or something. I don't know. It was a very not forgiving, but very unforgiving time period too. And then the other time period I'm seeing is World War I. Yeah, World War I, not two, but World War I. And I think that involved both a karmic and an unrequited love situation. Hey, little baby, you want to get down for me for a minute? I'm getting ready to shuffle. All right. So let's find out what's going on. I'm going to use the Neoteric Feminine Tarot. And this should prove to be interesting. That would not come up unless it has some direct impact on your life now, if this is your reading. Now remember, this is a general reading. So perhaps the past life thing is related to a question you had about repetitive patterns or something going on in your life that you needed answers or questions about. So the rest of this may or may not be yours. For some of you, that will explain what you're getting, whatever it is we're getting ready to find out. This is an interesting one. All right. Okay. Creator of all things, Mother and Father God, please come into this space in this reading. Archangels, Ascended Masters, Spirit Guides and Guardians, beloved elementals, all that is right and holy, please step into this space. I ask for my protection team, the protectorate, the healer guides. I ask for you to come in. And there's a divine feminine. There is a feminine standing very close to me. She has not incarnated in a very long time, so she may be connected to the Roman lifetime or that somewhere. No, she's saying no. Are you a being of light? Yes, she's saying a being of light. So she has never incarnated. Okay. Gabrielle. All right. Give me the words. Give me the wisdom. Thank you. All right. Let's see what we've got. She's just smiling, but she's being very quiet. She said this is going to have a far-reaching impact. Huh. Okay. Far-reaching impact. Okay, and it's going to be even clearer within the month or within the next 2 months, because King of Wands is what it opened to. Because if you're someone who you feel like you've always attracted the karmic cycles, you're about to attract the unrequited love, but it's not going to be an unrequited love cycle. Someone is coming into your life. Now that could be in the form. No, she's saying it's exactly what it sounds like. All right. Star card. A wish fulfillment. All right. All right. Wish fulfillment. So this is for someone. This is your reading if, and it's a general reading, even then it may not be yours. I don't know. You're an adult. You do what you want to do with it. But I keep feeling like that if this is your reading, you will know because you've just recently, within like the last 48 to 72 hours, questioned, why do I always have these repetitive karmic cycles? Why do I always seem to have this situation in my life? So your trust levels are very low, and you're not sure if you even trust yourself any longer to discern what is real and not. This could be your reading. So what I am getting, because she's not even really talking to me, which is funny, because if it's Archangel Gabriel or Gabrielle, she, excuse me, that's a messenger, that's the messenger being. She's just kind of smiling because she doesn't want to tip her hand. Okay, so she doesn't want you to know for sure. She doesn't want to spell it out too much because there's got to be some mystery that unfolds. You are going to meet this person in an incredibly unusual way. I need a drink. Let me get my coffee here. Ooh, and it's still nice and hot. Ooh. All right. This is someone that you're going to meet in a very unexpected way when you least expect it. And I'm also getting that you're going to think, wow, of all days for me not to even try to look like I'm part of the human race. Okay. So, but it's okay. There's going to be an instant recognition of the other person's soul energy. So you are about to conclude karmic cycles in your life. I think you are about to, if this is accurate and this is your reading and this feels accurate, I mean, why else would I say it? Of course, it's going to be accurate for someone. You are about to move into finding all those lifetimes, because it's more than just two. There's been a bunch of lifetimes where there's been an unrequited love, connection, longing. And so if you've always longed for someone and you don't even know who, this could be your reading. All right. Don't work to make it fit. Don't try to make it fit if you're already in a relationship with someone. This is about something new coming in. All right, so always use your discernment. Someone may still be on a learning curve. However, so it's not like it's going to be perfect. When is anything ever perfect? But I do feel like there's going to be an instant recognition and a soul recognition. In one lifetime, you were even siblings, which is a little weird, all things considered, but it goes to show the depth and level of emotion. Or you could be introduced through a sibling this lifetime. I don't know. That's odd. Okay, so the Star card. Moving out of karmic cycles and judgment and moving into the purity. And there's an effervescence about this, like a bubbly, excited effervescence about it. Well, my word, would you look at this? Okay. When I flipped the deck over and looked at the bottom, Ten of Cups. Right next to that, Ten of Pentacles. So this is not going to be imbalanced. This is not going to be imbalanced. Okay, so you've got the Star card, and on one side you've got the Ten of Cups, and the other side you've got the Ten of Pentacles. That's pretty darn good. Okay, and help me out to make sure I'm getting this right, Spirit. They're saying, oh yeah. And Gabrielle's just an ear to ear, not even a smile, but just a knowing grin. This is one pleased being. Oh, I get it. Thank you. Apparently it took a lot of orchestration to make this happen on their part, on Spirit's part. All right. So not only will this be fulfilling, a new beginning for you, but also coming full circle and knowing that you're home. And I reserve the word home for when you return to the divine home on the other side of the veil, because that's what it felt like when I had my near-death experience. You can find places where you feel most comfortable, but home is truly on the other side. So when you feel like you are finally at home with someone, this is not just someone that is an unrequited love from past lifetimes of breaking a karmic cycle, but this is someone that is part of your soul group. That's why thank you, Spirit. That's why there's soul recognition, because you both belong to the same soul group. All right. Now, there will not be an imbalance. Most karmic relationships have some kind of awful imbalance. This one has a total balance of give and take emotionally and a total balance of give and take financially. So this is someone who's grounded and wants the same things you want, and you don't have to fight for position or place, and neither does that person. Neither one of you will ever have to fight for position or place in the other's life. That's important. All right. Anything else, please? And woo, okay, we jumped way up. Oh my gosh, yeah. 6 of Wands. So this is the victory. This is the victory lap. It's like, finally. You get to say, finally. All right. Anything else? No. All right. You know what? This is a really good reading. I don't think I've had one. Like the one for yesterday was pretty darn good because it was all about empowerment and empowering. But, oh my word. Yeah. This is just straight up joy, and it's a home. It feels like a homecoming. You know, this one's going to be super short because this truly, I don't know what else to say. Just get ready. If there's something else you want to do, you know, if you need to dye your hair, cut it. If you know, make sure you floss. You don't want spinach in the front of your teeth when you're smiling. But yeah, this feels like a homecoming. I am so happy for you. I am so proud of you and happy for you because I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I feel like you've worked really hard for it. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is such a good reading. I kind of want to leave it right here. All right. You know what? That means I'm going to get my mug and bring it over here. So trust the process. Now that doesn't sound so bad. Now it doesn't sound like like the control's being taken away from you. Now it's sort of like, yeah, it'll be okay. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel, doesn't matter. I see this as a feminine being, so that just makes me feel more comfortable and safe. So cheers, everybody. Welcome to September. With the full moon, the new moon, the lunar and solar eclipse. We have a lunar and a solar eclipse. But I think we've already done the hardest part of the work, so ride it out. All right. I'm sending you love and gratitude. Sit back and watch and wait and let it unfold. For once in your life, you don't have to spearhead it and do all the work. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.